Happy Thursday, everybody, to all the baby boomers out there. We've been talking about the S&P's just having trouble around the 3,700 range for a while. I've been complaining about it. It's tough to break out. Well, we're out. We broke out. In fact, we've got a global breakout, but let's just take a look here. We're decisively at new highs on the S&P. Sector-wise, it's fairly broad advance. Banks are not really participating today. 10 years down a little bit from yesterday. But materials, tech's got that's a new high for the tech sector for the S&P 500. Consumer discretionary, that is a new high for consumer discretionary as well. Retail's been on fire recently. That's the XRT you're looking at. That also is at a new high as well. And as I mentioned, banks are lagging here. I'll tell you what I don't see. I see the S&P at new high, but I don't see a lot of new highs. And this is that top-heavy nature of the S&P, where the top 25 stocks have such large market capitalizations, they can push the S&P to new highs without having a lot of new highs. Those that are there are primarily, of course, semiconductors continuing. Teradyne and Broadcom are routinely on the new high list. Teradyne is as well. Seagate's a stalwart up there. ServiceNow is coming in and out of the new high list. But you get the point. Top-heavy, large market cap stocks tend to move the indexes these days, and that's certainly what's going on with the S&P 500. I mentioned this is a global breakout, and just look what's going on today in Asia Pacific. We've got Australia, China have been doing well. The MSCI Asia Pacific Index is at a historic high today. In Europe, I watched the Dow Jones Stock 600, which is sort of the S&P 500. That's the highest since February. But the EFA, Europe, Africa, Far East Index is at a new high as well. This is all being helped, the strong performance overseas, by the weak dollar. The dollar is at a 2.5-year low. That's the dollar index against the basket of 6 other currencies. And we've got commodities moving. The crude oil is at the highest level since February. So if you look at the positives and negatives right now, the market really loves what it's seeing. So it's got the positives here, the vaccine, the low rates, the liquidity, and the stimulus, all positive, the belief in the stimulus coming. The negatives, we know what's going on. The COVID winter, you see these terrible initial claims, 885,000. Rich valuations, 22 times forward 2021 numbers, and extreme bullishness levels. Sentiment's very, very, very high here. So the macro setup is good. The overarching trend is higher. It's more about leadership stocks, folks. Small caps versus big caps, growth versus value. Tomorrow, big rebalancing for the S&P 500. Tesla's going into the S&P 500, and boy, this talk, we could have 80 billion of Tesla to buy, and that means 80 billion to sell the rest of the market. I'll be all over that, do a little explanation of the nature of rebalancing. Very interesting moment for the S&P 500.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.